In the summer, I sit in my bed at night and listen to the trains, the grinding and the echo crawling out through the vacant streets around my house. It seems impossible to be where I am, on a mattress with a pillow in the middle of my life. Growing up, I never knew what I wanted to be. Other kids did, or at least they pretended to know, but I didn't. And as a child, I could hear the trains from my room, especially on those nights when my parents were up late drinking wine. I remember being in bed, awake, hearing the rumble and the whistle, the sound of coming and going, and I think about what I was going to do with my life. It'd keep me up until the doves started cooing in the morning. One summer up in the mountains, my brother and I found an old railroad tunnel that we thought was abandoned. But after walking about a mile down into the ground, the tunnel like a mine shaft, we found a man in a tiny wooden room, a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling, a whole bunch of switches on the board in front of him. I loved it in there. I loved the man in the room with the lights. The way he existed, it seemed exactly for that. That fall, my dad came home with a piece of plywood, big as a continent, and he carried it downstairs, and that night we set to work on my first model train. He'd stay for a while, and he'd leave me down there for hours, deciding on where to put a tree, or the timber loader, the grain silo, the trash can with the dented lid. Those were easy. But I remember being unable to place the fat man with the cane, the mother in the yellow dress with the crying child, the young boy. It felt too big, like beginning the world all over again. 20 years passed, and after, when my dad came out to visit, we went to Caboose Hobbies, the biggest model train store in the world, and spent hours there. He taking pictures of me just staring at the people next to the buildings, next to the trestle, next to the train that was going round. Now I stay in bed late at night, awake, and think about trains. Not even trains, but the set. The hands and the person who decided to place a fire hydrant here, two men smoking there, a billboard, an oil drum, an accident, the color of lipstick on a woman in line at the movie theater in a town where the movie never plays. Even though it felt big, I guess I did it anyway, like we all do. In the basement first and later in life, placing the ashtray, the spruce pine, the gravel, the grass, and finally the people on the plywood. Then placing myself in Spain in a bar with a book, on a bench next to a trash can with a pen and paper, crying in an elevator with a closed-up umbrella, in a hospital room with a baby girl, and with a pillow in bed, the train throwing itself through the middle of the night.